Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Lost Begotten fake YouTube channel, where it takes a crazy guy who thinks he's Jesus to explain basic common sense and point out truth that should be obvious to everyone. Purely coincidence. Anyways, so there's been kind of an ongoing habit of Kremlin intelligence apparatus. And this is infiltration of police departments. Okay? And this is something that they used in wide scale in Ukraine, obviously. Definitely obviously before the Maidan Revolution, but actually it's still an ongoing problem in Ukraine where people have to, or up until recently, people were reporting that they'd have to bribe police just to get them to take action on something in some of the more isolated villages and stuff, So they've been recruiting more and more younger police, but the younger police have to deal with the corrupt police. In fact, they'll sometimes bring people to jail. By the time they get back to the station to process them, the corrupt people will have released them already. Yeah, okay, so that's a bit tedious. But what's been going on in this country is not only the infiltration of subversion of police departments on individual bases, but more so, there's been a concerted media effort to demonize police. And this is more than just skewing perspectives. This includes completely setting up and may possibly include murder. As in, if you were a spy, okay? If you were Dr. Evil, okay? And you, say, had a town with only 6 cops in it. That town happened to be a pretty significant college town that if something funny happened, a lot of people would notice. PrarieView. Well, a couple of months ago in PrarieView, what I'm about to hypothesize may or may not have occurred in real life. You see, let's say, for instance, there wasn't a lot of black people in this particular town. And in this country that you were trying to subvert, you had started a campaign called Black Lives Matter, as if they were the only ones. Just purely hypothetical, right? Okay. And you found this young girl because, being the vast intelligence service you are, being ran by Dr. Evil, you would be monitoring in real time activities of such prospective hotspots, okay? And say they happen to arrest this real cute looking young black girl who seemed like, she was given a hard time. Wouldn't it be devious of Dr. Evil to send in somebody to kill that girl in the middle of the night when probably only one of those 6 cops was even on duty? Oh, that's ridiculous. Why would somebody do that? It would have to have some sort of implications that would benefit Dr. Evil. Well, if they did the usual gag of making it look like a suicide, the implications would be obvious. People would be easily led to think, and have been by RT in this case, to the conclusion that these cops hung this girl in her jail cell. I don't think these 6 cops, I've been watching a few different little clips here and there on them since the thing that happened today that I'm going to report in a few minutes. They don't seem like really nice people or anything, like they're not sitting there preaching to people while they take them to jail or nothing, but what possible reason could they have had, for just killing this girl? The idea is ridiculous. Okay, there is no motivation on their part. But one thing I noticed today that made me kind of retroactively reassess this situation was that this story about the Texas councilman who got tased. When I was looking for the original footage, the first upload I found was a Russian language channel. And it wasn't showing any views, as if it was a hacked channel. There's no possible way the first version of this that got uploaded had no views 11 hours later. All the other uploads that you see are from 1 and 2 hours ago right now. Okay. And this Russian channel uploaded it before the county. That doesn't make any damn sense unless Russia has been monitoring this particular police station as a hotspot for propaganda pieces. Unless they had an intelligence team on the ground. They got a lot of intelligence teams on the ground in this country. A lot. More than the United States government does, in fact. And that's kind of scary. Okay? So what happened today in the same police district where the same 6 cops worked that this girl hanged herself, this guy who's a state councilman, a city councilman, okay, goes out and tries to interfere with 2 police who are questioning his friends. Okay. He goes out and starts questioning the police as to why they're questioning his friends, which is actually a serious attempt to abuse his authority as a city council person. See, if a city council person has a problem with police policy, they're supposed to raise that issue at city council. Well, he goes out there, and as soon as he's asked to step away from the situation, he's immediately got an attitude. And then, for some reason, even though he's willing to get on his knees, he's not willing to put his hands behind his back. Officers are sitting there trying to get his hands behind his back. And just as the black female officer says, "Sir, we're going to have to tase you since you won't put your hand behind your back," the white guy, cop, a little too quickly just right ahead and does it. They could have given him a 3 count or something. It's kind of funny where cop wants to put your hands in cuffs. That's when you let your arms loose. Okay? That's a rule that any civilized person is supposed to follow. Because if the cop tries to put your hands behind your back and you don't let them, that's what's known as resisting arrest. At which point the cop has the right to basically physically assault you in order to get you to submit to arrest. Now, while I don't agree with all the methods that they use, that is the way law is and is interpreted today. Okay. But, of course, you know, I think CBS This Morning was the first little story I found on it. And what's her name? Oprah's friend or whatever. What's her name? I don't care. She's just like, he was already on his knees. Why'd they have to? Because they tried to grab, like, the man grabbed his left arm, and the female grabbed his right arm. Okay. And he goes like this, and trying to snatch his arms away from him. He was out there just to obstruct an investigation to begin with, abusing his authority. He was being the model of corruption. Okay? And you gotta be glad all they did was fucking tase him, you know? I don't get why people think, oh, because a couple of cops in this country have done a couple of bad things, suddenly it's okay for everybody to fucking resist arrest. And if the cops have a problem with people resisting arrest, oh, they're bad cops too. No, that's not the fucking case, you morons. You're being instigated and controlled, and you're being meat puppets of Russia. Okay? You're being meat puppets of the Kremlin. You're just repeating Russia Today psychobabble. And it's put there to make this country fall apart. Okay? It's just that simple. And if you don't see that, it doesn't take a whole lot of research into what, the KGB was and what they used to do to realize that their habits are alive and well today. The things that they do are happening in a town near you. Their propaganda is coming soon to theaters everywhere. Like tonight on your local news channel, chances are you will see something that was written by the Kremlin. Okay? Chances are. I'm not going to say what it is. But, speaking of random predictions, that's more just a probability than a prediction. Anyways. So before I filmed this video, I had some kind of creepy deja vu. Very specific deja vu. And today should be an eventful day. I don't quite have the full memory clip in front of me. I'm still medicated, not fully recovered. But it was several series of events that was okay. The deja vu started, and I'm like, oh, and then this is gonna happen. And it happened, and oh, and then this is gonna happen. It happened. So I'm like, okay, this is definitely some creepy deja vu. Well, I'm pretty sure it's one of those big end of the world type event deja vus. So this won't be the last video I filmed today. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. I don't really know what's gonna happen. I can think of quite a few possibilities of what could go wrong, but suffice to say, something will go terribly fucking wrong today. Thanks, everybody. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hashtag all lives matter. Okay? It's okay to disagree with police tactics. It's okay to want to make the world a better place. Okay? Police haven't always been perfect. There has been steady reforms of governments and police institutions over many years of history that have led us to the point where we can even bitch like we do. Okay? Stop losing faith in the system just the way Russia wants you to. Please, people. Write your city councilman who isn't in jail. Write your congresspeople. Make a difference the way a citizen is supposed to. Constructively and patriotically. That's all for now. Peace.